I like how Diner goes, go live, press button, press checked. I like it. I got my own checkers now. I got people checking if I'm doing things right. I like it. Keep me accountable, you know? It's not like I haven't fucked up twice or nothing, you know? I like it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's no, we didn't go live today. How's everyone doing? Let me start with that. How's everyone doing? Welcome to another brand new episode of the After the After Hours. The name's still new, the show's still same. After the After Hours with your boy TraderPrad. Hopefully you guys had a wonderful day today. There were still markets moving around, man. We still got the market moving around. Lots of buyers coming in. We ended up actually breaking out to the higher side end of the day. The sellers who were absorbing the market eventually got wiped out, so the buyers ended up winning after a hot CPI day, which was pretty surprising because there was more buying than usual. So we got a lot to talk about today. We got to go through a lot of stocks. I have about 40 stocks or so on my watch list that we're gonna run through. Look at some of the earnings boards. Look at the stocks that already reported earnings, that are going to report earnings, that have reported earnings maybe last week. Our watch list just keeps on expanding as always. If you're new to the stream, then you know how the deeper we keep going into the week, the longer the watch list is, sadly. So our streams just keep going forever and ever going into the end of the week over here. But that just shows you how much opportunities we have to kind of walk through to kind of look for those couple main trades. If you pulled into my stream yesterday, we were very hyped about for two specific trades, and we actually looked out for those trades today, and they worked out as we wanted them to. So we're going to talk about a couple of those trades from yesterday. Maybe we look for some sort of a day 2, day 3 type of trades on them. And how can I forget about the cryptocurrency market? Yesterday or the day before that, we didn't even talk about the cryptocurrency market. Today, all of a sudden, I get a message from my friends saying, oh, I'm gonna cash out my crypto account. I'm taking all my profits out after a year of sitting in it and holding it against me. I now have some profits. I'm gonna take my profits out. So I look at my account, I go, oh snap, okay, Bitcoin's back above 50K over here. We're actually moving again. So clearly crypto's currency moving. So we're gonna take a look at Coinbase, Mara, Riot, some of the Bitcoin ETFs such as GBTC and so on, see if there's any possible trades off of those cryptocurrency moves. And last but not least, we got the Magnificent 7. No S&B Capital video today though, so hopefully maybe we end the stream a little bit earlier, but I don't think that's happening. I don't think that's happening because we have 40 damn stocks to go through. 40 damn stocks. So at this moment, I am streaming, but I'd rather be foraging apparently. All right. What's the chat looking like? Number 3, my stocks recovered. You're number 3 today, TH? I'm guessing Dieter was number 2, or maybe somebody else was. I was number 1, as always. TH coming in. It was talked back up by the talking heads on the CNBS channel. CNBS channel talking up your book. Maybe talking up the overall market. Telling people about how maybe the I don't want to see CNBS. I don't know what they were saying, but I'm just speculating that they were probably talking about the CPI number being hot, not that big of a problem. So they talked up the market. There was an interesting video that I was directed to today. Well, somebody recorded this video. We'll talk about this person more in depth later on. I shout out to that person too. We'll talk more depth in person about that later. But they pointed out something that was pretty interesting. So yeah, we'll dive into more in that. I can't day trade right now. Any stocks looking good for a couple days / weeks hold. I just got into Take Two for a long-term hold for the GTA 6 release, says Lucas from Mongolia. I mean, I'm just a day trader. I'm not a swing trader. I'm also not a financial advisor, so I can't give any financial advice. But if I'm ever going to tell people as to you know, if you're looking to swing trade some stocks for a couple days or so, the earnings period is actually a very good time period for that. You can see what stocks moved off of earnings. Look for a stock that moved maybe today off of earnings. We're actually going to go through a lot of them that moved off of today, and you can look for a continuation move for a couple days, couple weeks on that position, depending on how strong it is or how weak it is or whatever. Not sure if you take shorts or not, Lucas from Mongolia, but yeah, so we are going to go through a couple of stocks as day trades, but most of those day trades do end up being a swing trade, because the idea we're forming here is some sort of a swing idea. So we'll see if that can maybe help you finding a trade for yourself. So why don't we get started, chat? If you haven't hit the like button already, please hit that like and subscribe. Let's get the party started. We got a lot of stocks on the board. This is the watch list. Ta-da! So there you go. As you guys can see, a long watch list over there. What is that? Why did that turn that back on? Hello? Turn that off. Yeah. I don't want that anymore. Are you still on though? Beyond the lower third that shows my things. Okay. So you guys see the watch list for today. Pretty big watch list. Some of the stocks obviously that we looked at from yesterday, some of the stocks that reported earnings today. Here are the stocks that report earnings tomorrow pre-market, and the times that they have their earnings calls. That for those of you interested, maybe take a quick note of that. So Crocs, DE, Deer, Yeti, Penn National Gaming. We know who owns Penn National. Well, I don't know if he still, not that he owns, but he had some shares of it. It's the Barstool guy. Probably not anymore after he basically bought his company back for a penny or for $1, which was amazing. Wendy's coming out with a earnings report tomorrow pre-market with their earnings call at 8:30, and then Oatly. These are the stocks that I'm interested in. There's other stocks too, so why don't we quickly go to the earnings board overall. So here's the earnings board today after hours. You got Twilio, Oxy, Cisco, AppLovin, and Fastly, some of the stocks, even Upwork, QuantumScape, some of the stocks that I'm interested in, and here are the stocks that come out tomorrow pre-market. Tomorrow after hours is the more fun list of stocks coming out. You got Coinbase, DraftKings, Roku, Trade Desk, DoorDash, Applied Materials, which it's not a semiconductor stock, is it? I keep getting confused between AMAT and another stock. Yeah, it's not Applied Materials. Maybe it is. It is semiconductor. See, I always get confused between Applied Materials, and I don't even know what the other stock's name or ticker is that I get confused with. Every time it just happens. It might be, I don't even know. I'm not even gonna bother with it. Who cares? Open Door, Toast not really that important for me. Open Door maybe a little bit, but Roku, Coinbase, DraftKings, and AMAT, the four stocks that are important tomorrow, which we'll dive deeper into on the last stream of the week. So make sure you tune into that tomorrow at 8 p.m. EST, ladies and gentlemen. Today's watch list starts with the earnings board, which is Twilio. So let's go take a look at Twilio, how this stock moved around in the after hours and how its report came out. Looks like a positive report. They were estimated 57 cents. They reported 86. They also beat on the revenue, but eventually actually pushed down to the south side, sadly, on this stock. So let's go to the 1 minute chart real quick. See where the volume spike is. That's exactly where I'm going to mark it as the earnings. February 2024 anchor VWAP. At this point, we can now leave it in for the future, and we'll just always have that going on for us. A couple areas to maybe quickly find on the daily chart that would be of interest. Well, we're clearly below that at this point, are we not? 67, 66. I think we're below that. Yeah, we're on $64. this area looks like a lot of trading took place for a couple months. We just consolidated again over here too. We did dip down a little bit, but a lot of buying came in right into that 56 area. The stock's already above 56. We're around 64, 65 somewhere. Twilio doesn't really look too exciting on the daily chart as a day trade for me, but we'll see how it looks actually on a smaller time frame here. Let's go to the 60-minute time frame instead, turn off the extended trading hours, and then zoom out a little bit, see what areas of interest kind of just pop out as a technical charter. There is a little bit of, you know, consolidation here, but then we broke down, fake break over here of this area, and then we pop right back up. We come back and then we hold it again. We just keep trading in and out of this range. Doesn't really excite me for a trade too much, if I'm going to be honest with you. And sadly, Oxy is going to be in that same state where it's going to be, you know, choppy and annoying. This is today's range. For those of you wondering, this was today's range, and the stock is clearly under that, right around the 64 area, which doesn't really seem too significant for me. It's somewhere in the middle of this. I might just have to kind of, you know, leave Twilio alone for tomorrow, unless it shows us, you know, begs for a trade on it. If it maybe pulls back to yesterday's VWAP for some reason, sorry, not yesterday's VWAP, yesterday's low for some reason, I don't think that's happening right now. The earnings anchored VWAP is at $66, which is also the 50 period the EMA, which is on the 5-minute, right around $66 also. There could be some rejections coming in around $66 on what looks like a positive earnings report though, so I'm not really seeing why the stock flushed down. Maybe the guidance of Twilio was to the lower side and hence we got flushed over here. So let's go take a look on what that report came out using our friends at Benzinga. So let's go check out what Benzinga has to say. We're gonna quickly copy it from Benzinga, and then we're gonna head into ChatGPT. Oops. Okay, there we go. Thank you, ChatGPT. Surpassing the consensus, yeah, but barely. That's also barely. The EPS was a bigger beat. Holy smokes! Wow. EPS was a little bit of a better beat than revenue. Twilio has beaten analyst estimates on both the top and bottom line in 21 consecutive quarters. Wow, okay, that's pretty good. Revenue breakdown, $1 billion, up 5% year over year. Segment revenue, which is formerly data and applications, up 4% year over year. Operational revenue, companies conducting an operational revenue of a segment business to determine the best path forward for improved execution and profitable growth. So, okay, they just threw out a sentence out there. Customer accounts had over 305,000 active accounts as of December, up over 290,000. So that's also a good number. Outlook for Q1. Twilio expects within the estimates, well, slightly short of estimates. So that looks like that's one of the reasons why the market guided down. The market is a lot of what the stocks are reporting, but it's a lot more what it's going to be in the future, right? The market's always pricing in what the future might be for these stocks, and that's why you're seeing guidance, and anytime a guidance comes out negative, it usually helps the stock go to the downside. So here comes the guidance, you know, the expected for Q1 is 1.05 billion, and they're reporting well below the expected ranges, so already missing out on that side, and they're expected to report somewhere of 54 cents per share EPS, and they're guiding 56 to 60 cents EPS. So they are kind of in line in revenue in that case. You know, the revenue is not that far off the expectations, and the EPS is actually on the higher end of the guidance. The guidance is 54, and they're saying we're gonna say 56 to 60. We're expecting higher. So overall, I guess mixed outlook, but positive outlook for the most part. CEO talks about satisfaction with strong Q4 overall performance in 2023. The team is focusing on delivering and customer engagement vision for their clients in 2024. After hours, yeah, we saw that. Upcoming events, conference call at 5 p.m. today. So Twilio, I guess this is a little bit of a mixed report. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of action over here that we saw on Airbnb, which we absolutely nailed. If you guys remember what we said about Airbnb yesterday, we were looking out for, let me actually pull up my Twitter so I can, you know, talk about this a little bit. Where is it? So we talked about these levels yesterday for you guys, that 142.50 to that 144 area. If you were watching the stock off the open, it basically opened into that 150, flushed off that 150, and we also said watch out for 150. Maybe yesterday's low is really not the selling point off the open. If it kind of goes there, 150 might be the bigger point where you can sell to, and today's high was basically 149.38. So we were looking for that resistance area to come in after to yesterday's low. It did come in right around yesterday's low. Actually, the stock actually pops above 150 a little bit higher later on. Over here though, we got Airbnb holding that 142.60 area perfectly. We were also waiting to see if Airbnb will push into 140 for us. We didn't actually get that opportunity there. And another trade that we called out was this 200 on WM, 199.50 to 200. 199.50 was yesterday's high, which was the earnings day high, but the 200 area is basically the 50-cent area. We were looking for the selling to come in over there for us to look for a short, so that was a beautiful call out over there. But what I'm trying to get to right now is this move over here on what's the stock again, Twilio. This move right here on Twilio kind of resembles a little bit of Airbnb to me. Not too much of a move to the downside. It did flush, however. There's quite a bit of a buying here. Maybe the 64 area can show some buying and we can pull back to yesterday's low and reject around yesterday's low. We trade somewhere between the earnings anchored VWAP and between yesterday's low is what I would be guessing. So I think the trade happens somewhere here tomorrow, and then the stock has to decide where it resolves in. Hence, I'm not really too excited to trade in. What would excite me to trade the stock is to see a instant pop up and then a reject, and then a lower low kind of being made. At this point, I can get short here, risking this area, and then we can look for a move right back down to the south side. Unless a pattern like that shows up, or maybe even we start rejecting into this area of 66 where the earnings anchored VWAP is, maybe I can think about it then. Until then, I'm not really too excited to trade Twilio tomorrow based on how it's looking on the daily chart. Shinobi AYO says, "Sup, Pratt? How you been?" I've been good, sir. How you been? You got some positive mentions in the live stream today. Chris Strum. Oh, whoa! I'm thinking the Trader TV live stream. I was like, is that what you're talking about? But Think with Bookmap is saying, yeah, their stream. I've been very lucky with Think with Bookmap. They've been pushing off my stream quite a bit, so thank you for all that help, Think with Bookmap. Yes, they've been putting my mention throughs quite a bit. I appreciate it quite a bit, guys. And they're also here today. Yay, what's up? Oh, through Sean. Oh, you are talking about Trader TV Live. Okay, anyways. Oxy with a monster report today, hopefully. Nope, nothing. It was flat. What? The move was flat at the very least. It did nothing. The report came out a little bit of a beat, 10% beat on the revenue, EPS, 3.5% beat on the revenue over here for Oxy. A nothing burger move. And like I predicted that I would be very bored with the next stock coming up on the watch list over here, it's Oxy. Oxy is ever since Buffett took over the stock, it's kind of gotten very boring to trade. I do have some levels over here though. We have this beautiful bottom. It's not boring if that bottom comes into play. The 55.50 area just awesomely holds every single time for the recent history from March 2023 until now. I don't even think that level comes into play tomorrow. The report's green. The stock actually traded within today's range after the earnings report. Let me actually go into the 1-minute chart, throw in the earnings anchored VWAP. I think that's when the stock doesn't do too much volume in the after hours, I kind of just use whatever time TradingView tells me that it reported at. I sometimes check it on Benzinga to see what time Benzinga has the timestamps next to their report. So let me quickly show you what that looks like. And if you want to check out Benzinga, do go check out the link in the description below. Look over here on the timestamp, right? There's a little timestamp for all their reports. So I usually go check their reports, but right now we're just gonna be lazy and check out this Oxy over here with the anchored VWAP coming in for earnings from that point. Now let's go to the 5-minute chart, see what it looks like. See, obviously under that, but I think tomorrow, if for any reason 55 comes into play, you're looking for a long. If 55 doesn't even come into play and 57 holds up again, then you're most likely that's the opportunity right there for you to build into the long tomorrow on Oxy. And if you miss out on that train, then you might just have to wait till what happens to see what happens. What is this anchor VWAP comes from? That's earnings November 2023. So ooh, yeah, notice how that's kind of boxing us in right now. So we're kind of getting boxed in quite a bit on that earnings anchored VWAP. Most likely tomorrow we have to take out that and start getting above it for us to think about a bigger bullish swing long term. For this could be an idea for you, Lucas. You know, good earnings report. Maybe read up on it a little bit more. Obviously, Oxy is a oil company, gas company. It might move a little bit more. Every Wednesday is the crude oil numbers come out. Hello. Every Wednesday that the crude oil numbers come out, so it might move a little bit more every Wednesday. So maybe you don't want to hold this stock longer than a couple other stocks that you might want to do on a regular basis. But if you read the earnings report for the stock, I'm just going to quickly skim through it with my eyes, see what the report looks like. I might have to kind of... The company increases quarterly dividend 22% to 22 cents per share. That one statement alone looks pretty goddamn bullish to me. So, I mean, this stock clearly looks like it's going to take out $58 tomorrow. We might see a nice bullish run. Oxy does give you some awesome intraday trades sometimes, not always, sometimes. Off of earnings, you might just get that extra oomph, that extra buying power kicking in. Maybe Papa Buffett actually kicks in with that buying power that we want to see. So once again, I'm going to say the 57 area, which was today's low, I think, which was also a couple other days low. I think, what was it over here? Yeah, February 7th low, right around 57. So pretty even yesterday's low. So today's low, yesterday's low, February 7th low. We got a triple bottom coming in and pretty much a triple top. So there's a fight between a seller, there's a fight between a buyer, and the buyer is most likely going to come out victorious at the moment. And the resolution for me will be who is going to get knocked out. If I'm going to rub my crystal balls over here, it's going to be prediction that we're going to burst through 58. Most likely pre-market move in itself. We're going to see the stock holding 57, getting above 57.50, trading between 58 and 57.50 in pre-market. That would be clean. If we're trading between 57.50 and 58 in pre-market, you can kind of even give it up to this 58.50, to be honest. So if we're trading between that area in pre-market, right under this triple top over here, I would love for that breakout and a beautiful move to the north side. Increase in dividend. Earnings report looks pretty bullish, but I would suggest you to read the earnings report a little bit more. I'm just trying to be a little lazy over here because we have a lot of stocks to go through. Oxy looks pretty good to the upside. Now, next stock is Cisco. So let's go to Cisco. These are the type of stocks that kind of excite me a little bit more when it comes to looking for trades off of earnings. And Cisco, as you guys can see on the last earnings report, it drops down, and ever since then we kind of have been holding the earnings anchored VWAP. So here's the previous earnings anchored VWAP from November 2023. We obviously gap down, and we hold the level from the daily chart. So here's the daily chart. Good little consolidation, finds buying right in front of $46, and then eventually starts getting back up to the north side. And now you can see how the buying comes right back in where the earnings anchored VWAP is at the previous earnings, and now the new earnings most likely takes it right back into this price. If I'm just guessing, I haven't seen the after hour move. I'm guessing if the move has to come in, probably takes us back over here. So let's go take a look at this. The report did look positive. Yeah, the report did look positive, barely beating revenue, beating EPS by 4%, Maybe they didn't even go. Oh, they went to the downside. A complete opposite move. So the $46 area coming back into play over here. Okay. Yeah, the 46.77, 47, 46 area basically coming back into play over here on the stock, sadly. We were so wrong on that expectation. So let's put in the earnings anchored VWAP. That was a volume spike, and that's where the move started. So that's where I'm gonna pin the marker from. February 2024. I can't spell February. That's awesome. February 2024. Right now, the anchor VWAP is flattening out. There could it'll be more important to see how the anchor VWAP moves tomorrow pre-market, if it's angling up, if it's angling down. Right now, with very light volume in the after hours, the 9 and the 21 are angling up, kind of showing you that the momentum to the upside has started. But I'm not gonna buy any of these information right now on this low volume. It'll be more important to me to see what happens to stock in pre-market, closer to open, closer to 930. Right now though, you can see how that previous supports have kind of come into play. Don't really expect much lower than 45.50. That would be my absolute bottom on this stock. I do have a line at 46.77. Let's say 46.77 to 47. You could kind of look for that area, but I'll be more patient and just wait near 45.50. I think that level has to come into play if the earnings report's bad, and if it does come into play, I think it'll hold up. And if it does hold up, I'll look for some longs in that area. Let me see some buyings. Let me see some exhaustions off that selling. Let me see the tape reversing. Let me see a higher low, lower high. Whatever it is that you use to kind of your exit or your enter criteria, whatever your entry criteria is, I think it would be better for you to just wait near 45.50 area if it does flush down. So watch out for this. All hell breaks loose, says Ponzi. Oh no, Ponzi's here. What's up? Lucas, take 2 shares or calls. I think he bought some shares. He's looking for a move on the GTA 6, he said. Ponzi talking about destruction everywhere. What more do you need to see? Death, death. Oh my god, an eye isn't working. Ponzi going crazy. Ponzi, it's okay, man. It's okay, Ponzi. Life's not that serious, dude. I think Ponzi's positioning himself by buying a nuclear bunker. That's what it looks like. Alright, back to the stocks, to which we have a lot to talk about. Let's go to the 60-minute time frame. That's our new time frame. That's our new favorite time frame, 60-minute. Let's go to the 60-minute here and draw out some lines. So here's the yesterday's low. That's $49. I think we are well below $49 already. Let me, however, put in a line somewhere here. You know what? Instead of a line, I'm going to draw a purple box, because that's something that I like doing when it shows me ranges like these. Throw in a line over there. That way we have a marker on the left side, sorry, on the right side. 49 to basically 49.30. That could be a little bit of a resistance area for the stock if it does pop up. And now we got a line over there, 47.60, to kind of watch out. We're already down over here. I'm just gonna move that one. Why did I pin it over here instead? I guess this one has a little bit more buying after wicking up, so I just kind of ignored that wick and I put it up to the higher wick instead of the lower wick. So that's why 46.50 was more important to me than 46, I guess. But we have that little area to kind of watch out for also. Now let's turn back on the 5-minute chart and the extended trading hours, see what it looks like. You can see how we're right at that 47.70 line, that white line that we just put in like 2 minutes ago. That 46.60 area could come into play, but like I said, if the stock is breaking 46.60, I don't know why 45.50 won't come into play. The earnings report wasn't even that weak. I don't think we should see 45.50. The fact that we're at 47.70 right here at this support area, I think it should hold this area. So here's a couple scenarios that I'm looking at. It holds this area, bounces back into what looks like yesterday's low was, right into this range, rejects this range, and then trades between this range because of what looks like a meh report, right? Wasn't a big beat. probably a bad guidance, so probably trades in this range. What's another scenario over here, if it does break this area, is it probably doesn't bounce off of here. It probably goes right back into this support. That's why I keep talking about this 46 area. It might actually be beneficial to even take that line out and just kind of wait near this one for myself. So watching to see how the stock behaves on pops into, what is that area again? 49 to 49.30. You can even say 50, which was basically today's low. Oh, no, 49.55 was today's low. Okay, yeah. So 49.55 to 49 area to see how it plays out if the stock pops up to the north side. And we're waiting to see if this 47.50 area shows some buying tomorrow to get some longs into. However, the after hour move was a little bit under 47.50. It was all the way, oh, it's really 47 was the after hour low. So there you go. There you have the moves over there that we might want to keep watching. So 45.50 was the ultimate support to the downside. I don't think the stock is going anything lower than that. We have 47 area, but I'm really watching all the way from 47 to 47.50. That number might change depending on what we do in pre-market. If the stock is already rejecting the anchored VWAP tomorrow in pre-market and just looking to start going down lower and lower, then we're looking at 47.50 as the resistance, and then we're looking at 45.50 as the support. The stock's ATR is only 76 cents. Holy shit, what the hell? Give me a second, guys. What the hell? Holy shit, that scared the shit out of me. Got swatted. Yo, who swatted me, guys? What the hell? No, my tenants downstairs, or I shouldn't say my tenants, my parents' tenants, the basement. They were probably cooking something, and they might have turned the fire alarm on, so that went off. That scared the crap out of me. Holy crazy, man. That was, whew, my heart started pumping a little bit quicker. Usually happens to me when I get into bad trades too, so probably a good example of what to do. Get up and run out of those trades, Prad, like you just got up and ran out of your house almost over here. But everything's good. We're back. The show's back on. So Cisco looking for some support around this area, looking for rejections around here. Actually, let's go take a look at the report. Let's go take a look at the report for CSCO. CSCO. Wait, that's Oxy. CSCO, Benzinga, bring in Benzinga, copy this part, and then we go cheat on over here because we're just lazy. Thank you, ChatGPT. So we already saw the EPS and the revenue. Cisco implementing a restructuring plan aiming to cut about 5% of its global force. Approximately $800 million of pre-tax charges, approximately $800 million. Okay. Cisco CEO highlighted the company's solid Q2 performance, emphasizing strong operating leverage and capital returns. Q3 revenue between 12.1 and 12.3, below estimates. So there you go. The guidance is bad. The earnings projected between 84 to 86 cents compared to 92. Okay, even missing on both sides on the expectations and the guidance for the next quarter. Full year revenue, this should be bad too, most likely. Expected 54, they're saying 51 to 52, so they're missing out on that one. 3.68 to 3.74 compared to 3.86, so they're missing out on that one. This looks like more downside to me, so you might just wait. You're better off waiting at 45.50. You're better off waiting at 45.50. It looks like this 48 area where the stock is right now on this anchored VWAP is most likely rejection. So right now we're glad that we weren't lazy and read the earnings report. We should have probably done that first. But I'm gonna leave where I have the support area for 47.50 right now, and I'm gonna put resistance as 49. Oh, that's not 49. 49 to 49.50 as my resistance still. But in pre-market, like I said, depending on how the stock trades, if we reject the anchor VWAP still, then we're looking to start trading below this 47.50 area. I'm most likely just looking at that 47.50 area to 48 as a resistance, and I'm looking to see what the stock does at 45.50, which most likely holds up according to technical analysis, right? But we have to wait to see if the stock actually shows us buying or not at that moment. Next stock with earnings tonight is APP, App11. I'm going to the 1 minute, pulling out my anchor VWAP tool. That's where the volume started to kick in, so we're gonna mark that Feb 2024. Go back to the 5 minute. Instead, we'll go to the daily chart. Go to the daily chart, start with the higher time frame, and then go down. Ooh, so looks like we're right around the 52-week high. I like that. Pretty much around 52-week high at the moment. Earnings report was bullish, so I clearly broke out the 52-week high and took it higher. Let's go take a look at the earnings report real quick. Big beat on the EPS, really slight beat on the revenue. Let's go see what it looks like on Benzinga. APP. P. New chat. Okay. We're gonna have to wait till this one's done. Thank you. Okay, where are we? App11 quarterly earnings 49 cents, surpassing the analyst by 36%. Sales growth, company came in around, this is a significant 35 increase over sales year over year, so 35% year over year on sales, accounting for 60% total revenue, notable in 44% of the same period last year. That's what growth in software platform revenue, accounting for 60% of total revenue. So that one's growing. That's actually good. App11 announced an increase to its share repurchase program by 1.25 billion. Amazing. Outlook for 2023 and 2024. The company expressed optimism but its growth, citing a phenomenal year in 2023. Looking ahead to 2024, App11 sees opportunities to enhance technology. Don't say AI anywhere. I swear to God, don't say AI anywhere. Expand the customer base and enter new industries through initiatives like connected TV. What is that? And OEM and carrier array. What's going on with that one? Okay. Q1 2024 revenue guidance. App11 provided guidance for the first quarter 2024, expecting revenue in the range of what's the estimate though? What's the, you know, I like to see what the guidance is, but I also want to see what the analyst estimates are, because then you can compare it to something. But nothing. I can smell something burning in my house. I can smell something burning in my house. I'm scared. App11 shares are reported to be trading up nearly 12 point. Yeah, we already saw that. So market clearly loved the report. They pushed it to the upside. Now we might have to just zoom out a little bit more. The recent history is no longer valid. We actually got a little bit of a pump on this stock. So what kind of levels matter on a longer time frame? Something that points out to me immediately is that area, that 58. Are we already near 58? I love it. I love it. So it looks like that area most likely comes into play, but I don't think we're going much higher than that. Let's be real. I don't think we're going much higher than that. Unless this report's really bullish. What was that? What was that growth in that company? Only 35%. It's not like insane amount, right? It was only 35%. The revenue was also a slight beat. EPS was 41% beat. I mean, that's like what, 21%? I think that's good. That's pretty much back into IPO levels here. Let's put an anchor VWAP from IPO actually. Ooh, chat, you guys want to pick a color for IPO? What color do you guys want to give this? Let's go with... No, yellow is... No, I can't go with yellow. Let's go with black on a black screen. Yeah, that makes sense. You know what? We'll do that. Okay. peach color. IPO anchored VWAP. So let's see where that bad boy is coming into. Ooh, a support. I like that. As some support to the downside. Some nice little support coming in. But I think, honestly, I'm not going to expect too much higher than 58 to 58.27. I think that's a little bit of a resistance. As for supports, anywhere between 47.30, which is today's high, all the way up to 58.27. The stock has an ATR of not much. I'm going to say, yeah, $2 ATR. So expecting it to do about a $4 intraday range is I think good enough. Anything more than that would be crazy. So let's see, $4 from here is right around where the anchor VWAP is. That would be $6, $6.50. Yeah, I think we're just trading in these ranges tomorrow on app. I can't see it too much above 58, but now that we have a clear area to keep an eye out for, if the stock is blasting through 58.27, let's say 58.30 actually, 58 to 58.30, then you're looking for a bigger move to the north side. The first area of support for me would be where this anchored VWAP is for earnings. It also coincides exactly with the 50 period moving exponential moving average on the 5-minute chart, which is around 51.60. Anchor VWAP for earnings at 51.65. So we're looking for the first area of support for me around 51.60 to 51.50, and then under that is just the day's high, period. The day's high. Maybe 50 shows up as some support. That's also the 100 period EMA. Maybe 50 shows up as some support. It's a more psychological level. There might be bigger buy orders at 50 than there are at 51.60 or 51.50. So the market just naturally magnets to the buying power and kind of, sees... not saying this happens all the time, but magnets to that buying power, and then you kind of see if this gets tested or not, right? So $50 could have more buying power, at which point we are going to probably magnet to that, and then you can play off that area. However, 51.50 to 51.60 on App 11 is what I'm watching, and under that would be that obvious high of today, which is that 47.30 to 47 most likely. But with how bullish, I don't know why I put it in quotes. I don't know why I put it on quotes. But with how bullish the report was over here on the stock, I don't think you want to see it below for $50. You basically don't want to see it below $50. So in one of my section in my watch list over here, I have something called inflection. So that's where I'm going to put in $50, meaning I don't want to see the stock going below 50. That is a very key psychological level for buyers. For anyone who bought it today, let's say you FOMO'd into this 55, 56, 57, even if you FOMO'd into $58, how would you behave if $50 breaks on what looked like a bullish report? You're most likely closing for a loss, and that's just going to take the stock maybe a little bit lower. So I don't really want to see it mentally under 50. So that's going to be my psychological level to keep an eye out for, to see what happens if we do get there. Next stock, FSLY. I don't really trade Fastly too much. Never really traded it, but wow, big move to the downside for Fastly. Let's go put in an anchor VWAP. It's saying that earnings came out somewhere down there, but we did get a little bit of a volume spike over here, and a big move started right over there. So I'm gonna put it in exactly where that move started. ER Feb 2024, and you go to earnings VWAP. Thank you. Earnings VWAP. Pretty weak, pretty damn weak on how that chart looks. Let's quickly pull up our Benzinga friends again and look up what Fastly's earnings report is. FSLY. Why didn't you look? You're shrunk. Oh, fixed it though. Okay, so there's a report. Thank you again, Benzinga, for the reports. I love Benzinga for everything that they do. For anyone who wants to check out Benzinga, make sure you go click on the link below in the description. Summarize in bullet form. Make sure you go check out the link in the description below. They're not only a news scanner, they're also I just mentioned the word scanner. They're not just used for news. You can also use them for scanners, charting purposes, and a bunch of other stuff. So do go check them out. But we are going to quickly scan that information from them and put it into ChatGPT so we can read it a little bit quicker. And ChatGPT says, or Benzinga says, Fastly report coming in with only a 1.2% beat. Or oh, it's missed it. Never mind. Missed it by 1.2, not by much. Consensus estimates of 2-cent loss. Where is this? Okay, earnings were 1 cent per share, beating the analyst estimates of 2-cent loss. That's pretty good. Quarterly sales were whatever, missing the analyst estimate by 1.21. Total consumer count in the fourth quarter was 3,243, with 578 being enterprise customers. Okay, so more customers coming in or less? I want to see that number. I don't really want to know what the total count is. That doesn't mean anything to me. I want to see if the number is going up, going down, staying steady. How much is it growing year by year? And we don't see that number over here. CEO talked about the progress in operational and financial rigor, resulting in the stunt growth margins and a non-GAAP net income. For anyone wondering where to see those numbers, though, all you have to do is quickly compare from the previous earnings report. Pull up the previous earnings report on the stock, compare these numbers from this earnings report to the previous ones, and then you can put in the math yourself. The company's go-to-market packaging and channel efforts in 2023 led to an inflection in customer acquisition. Okay. Fastly anticipates first quarter revenue to be between 131 to 135 and full year revenue to be 580 to 590. What are the estimates for analysts, though? After the earnings report, Fastly shares are trading down 20%, sadly, at $18.81, which we already saw. How it took place. Here's the daily chart, and they're basically trading somewhere back into these ranges. They gapped up, and they closed the gap, and they might just go all the way back into 16 if you ask me. Nice little double bottom into 16, nice little top into this 1950. You could even kind of say up to $20 if you want. I'm just gonna stick to this 1950 area. I don't think we get back to 1950 tomorrow. I don't think we even get above the gap close, I'll be honest. But 1950 will be the high mark over here for me. I think that's the resistance, and the support most likely right around here at $16 for me to the downside. However, the stock might not even have that much of a... Oh, what the hell? However, the stock might not even have that much of an intraday range. ATR, okay, it's a decent ATR, $1.23. So tomorrow, if you times that by 2, maybe you get $1.26 ATR out of it. But depends on the volume spike, depends on how much volume we have, depends on how much interest people have in trading FSLY tomorrow. The earnings report did look pretty, I guess. We don't really know what the estimates are. We know what they are guiding to, but how the market reacted to that move, it was pretty damn bearish. I also want to go take a look on this chart for the 60-minute time frame. So quickly turn it off on the regular time frame over here. Go on the 60-minute. You already saw how we were under the 1956, right? We were around $18 something. So let me zoom out. Ooh, that one seems interesting. $18 over there. And then the next support 16. Yeah, I think these are the levels that I'm most likely keeping an eye out for. Let's turn on extended trading hours real quick. There you go. Awesome. Yeah, I mean, it's really not that hard. Really not that hard sometimes. Save the farms from banksters. Holy Ponzi. Okay, my friend. Ponzi, we're just a trading stream, mate. I don't think we're trying to do all that right now. Wrong place, wrong time, brother. Wrong place, wrong time, Ponzi. Are you the same Ponzi that was on the Trader TV chats? I think you are. Hey Chris, I'm kind of interested now. What did Sean say? Kind of interested. Kind of interested. You have my thoughts peaked. But here we go. Fastly looking for 18 to most likely hold. 20% drop, big drop, but I don't think we're getting above 1950. So 1950 resistance on the stock. Support most likely 18, and then under 18 I'm looking at 16 to show up as some support. 16 to 1580 was it? 15, yeah, I'm gonna put 1580. 1580 to the downside. Inflection is that $18 area, which is our first level of support. If the stock cannot get below 18, you possibly have a good long back to the earnings anchored VWAP, which is right around $19. Well, not right around, it's at $19.10. So move back into the earnings anchored VWAP, rejecting 19 and trading between 19 to $18 makes sense to me. Or even a move into 1950, rejecting 1950 and then coming back down into $18 also makes sense to me. So I'm watching for those type of moves over here on FSLY. But as the importance for the stock tomorrow is not really that high for me. Fastly, I think we have we still have the Airbnbs and upstarts and hoods to talk about, and those are the more important trades for me tomorrow. Also with the Bitcoin claiming 50k, Coinbase, Mara are most likely some of the more fun stocks that we want to play with. I don't think any of these earning plays are really too exciting for me, but I'm still covering them, still covering my bases, going through them just to make sure that if there is a trade, I don't miss out and I don't regret on it. Has the chat stopped? Yes, it has. I think the chat just died out on me. Hopefully you guys are still here. But TH, you kind of answered that question by saying, has the chat stopped? Upwork. Upwork coming in with a nice little earnings report to the north side. Upwork going up. I like it. First though, flush to the downside. Big flush to the downside initially, and then popping up. 1603 is when the report came out apparently. So February 2024 ER on this position. Upwork little choppy after the first move, and then the volume just died out. Overall, a move to the north side on the earnings report. Let's go to the 60-minute time frame and then turn off extended trading hours. See if we can chart out some areas of interest on Upwork. I think Upwork on the daily chart actually looked pretty interesting. Yeah, look at that. Upwork on the daily chart looked really interesting to me. So looking at that area first, looking at that area second, and then I think we're already between those two prices. Let's go see. Yeah, basically between those two prices. And if we do see some support coming into the $16, maybe we break out of that 1636 and then go higher, make a new 52-week high. We previously did try to make a 52-week high, but we struggled and we came right back into the south side, sadly. So the question is, what does the stock do right now at the previous 52-week high? If there is buying into 16 or should I say 1586, it's never just a flat line, right? Usually you do end up getting some stocks coming into that same price by 1 penny or the same price by the penny. It's usually never that. It's always a zone. It's a range. For Upwork, whose ATR is 67 cents, maybe the range is maybe a couple pennies, right? It might not have to be 20 pennies on it. So right now we do have a level at 1588 over here. I'm just gonna give it up to 1590, 1595 or so, basically $16, giving it about 12 pennies over here to the north side for that range past 1588. Looking to see what happens around that $16 area for the stock tomorrow on what looks like to be a bullish earnings report. And can we take out this bigger resistance area? Well, it's not even a bigger resistance, just that previous 52-week high, and blast through that area to the north side, show us some more momentum upside on Upwork, UPWK. So looking at $16 flat as my inflection point, looking at 1637 as that previous 52-week high area, and looking at supports. I honestly don't even think I need to put in supports for the stock tomorrow, because we're just looking for it to break out and go. But if we were looking for some supports, maybe just yesterday's high, or today's high, where it clearly first after breaking down popped up, came back, supported a lot around this area and popped back up. So you're looking for today's high to show support. If today's high does not get held on the stock, then there is no trade to the long side at all, in my opinion. So you might just want to back off from that idea and just stay off from it. The move was very choppy, and it could be very choppy tomorrow too. However, the move after it got chopped up did show a little bit more cleanliness of its move to the north side, of its hold to the upside. So you want to see that same cleanliness later on in the pre-market tomorrow and off the open. But if that 1530 zone is not being respected, I'm not going to even say 15 because that's way too far. 15 is all the way back into today's VWAP. You're telling me we're gonna flush all the way back down over here? At that point, I'm turned off. I really don't even want to trade it because the $16 area where the stock has clearly struggled into means that there's more struggle in this position, and sellers are stuffing it right back down into today's ranges. So that's pretty boring in my opinion. You want to see buyers show up aggressively, kind of like what they did on ARM. You want to see them show up aggressively and just punching prices without regard and just push the position higher. That's what I want to see on upward. Next, on QuantumScape, earnings report comes out on QuantumScape. Looks like a little bit of a negative earnings report. What the hell? What? Okay, thank you, TradingView. This is why we always have our trusty friends at Benzinga. So let's go copy it from Benzinga, head over to ChatGPT. Hello? Let that boy load in for us. Okay, QuantumScape Corp reported a fourth quarter loss of 23 cents per share, beating estimates of a loss of 43 cents. That's awesome. Fourth quarter capital expenditures were 13.8 million and reporting expenses were 124.6 million. The company plans to provide guidance for improving comparability with other companies reporting an adjusted EBITDA loss of 60.7 million in fourth quarter. Company highlighted component level improvements made in 2023, including higher cathode loading, efficient commercial packaging design, and improved scalable separator processes. I don't know what any of that means, I'll be honest with you. I'm just reading out sentences out loud. Holy. The company aims for low volume QSC5 prototype production in 2024 and higher volumes in 2025. Full year 2024 capital expenditures expected between 70 million and 120 million with an projected EBITDA of 250 to 300 million. Okay. QuantumScape expects cash runway to extend into the second half. The CEO, oh, Indian guy, okay. Effective Feb 15th. With another Indian guy leaving. I like it. Jagdeep Singh. Isn't that the NDP guy? No, what was that? Was the NDP guy who's running in Toronto? I forget his name. Yeah, I was born in Delhi. Shout out to him, baby. Shout out to my Indian dude who's getting taken over by another Indian dude. Gotta love it. People just fighting over people's jobs. I'm joking. QuantumScape shares were down 3.21% after hours. However, after the report, which looks pretty damn weak to me, only 3.2% though. I guess, yeah, the report was to the downside, so they did flush. I'm guessing that's right back into $5. Not even. It's a $3 stock. Where did you move into? Yeah, it just did nothing. I think QuantumScape is going to be in our nothing burger basket tomorrow. Look how boring the stock is, right? Look how boring it is. You want to see a stock like QuantumScape with the price of it is get way more active, and if it doesn't, then it's dead to me. It's absolutely dead to me. So not even gonna bother putting any notes for this stock on my watch list for tomorrow. We're just gonna skip past this one and head over to the next stock on board. Oh, actually, the next few list of stocks that we have to talk about, it's not just one, are the stocks that are announcing earnings tomorrow pre-market. So let me show you that chart one more time. It's Crocs. Crocs has their earnings call tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. Check mark. That means the stock goes higher in our priority list. Any stock that's having a conference call during the open or after the open usually goes down in priority for me. So that would be Deere. Deere has a conference call at 10 a.m. lower priority, or maybe higher priority after 10 o'clock, right? So maybe a little bit of a lower priority off of 9:30, but a higher priority after 10 or a higher priority after 11. Something to watch out over there. Yeti conference call 8 o'clock. Penn National coming in at 9 o'clock also. Well, Yeti is 8, Penn is 9 o'clock, Oatly is 9 o'clock, and Wendy's at 8:30. So anything that's 8:30 or 9, a little bit of a higher priority for me than the ones that are 10, 10:30, or 11. Thankfully, only one that's at 10 tomorrow. That's Deer. Let's quickly go through some of these charts over here. Not gonna really put in any levels for this stock right now, for any of these stocks right now, because the earnings moves are going to be way more drastic and move more violently. Our levels that we're going to look at right now are not going to matter at all. I'd much rather just wait for pre-market to show me what levels matter. But we're going to use our trusty friends at Options AI. Shout out to Options AI for this segment of the stream, where we get to talk about the possible expected moves off of the earnings for stocks such as Crocs, DE, and Yeti, basically the ones coming out with earnings tomorrow pre-market. So Crocs is expected to get a move of 7.9% move up or down based on the earnings. This is calculated by how people are already pricing themselves in the options market, along with what the implied volatility of the stocks are, a bunch of other math calculations, and apparently a little bit of AI. So we're looking at some expected over here, expected move of 8% to the upside or to the downside coming in. So a high of 117 or a low of $100 on Crocs tomorrow off the earnings move. After that, you can see a bigger move, so watch out for those levels. Maybe it's actually worth putting these levels in my notes tomorrow as a beginner level to start off of, and then in pre-market I get to see how different from these levels the stocks have moved to. So I'll just quickly do that for myself a favor. As a support, it was 99.77. I'm gonna put exactly what they say just for fun, and for resistance was 116.97. So we're gonna put that in. DE, let's go check out DE over here. DE expected with a 4.1% move overall, so a low of 368.82 or a high of $400 coming in. Well, 474 to be exact, but a low $400 high most likely coming in for DE on their earnings report. Do keep in mind that their conference call is at 10 a.m. You got to be careful for that one. Next stock, Yeti. Yeti coming out with a move pre-market, expected move of, that's not the right answer, is it? Oh, it is 12% move. Okay, shout out to you, Yeti. Yeti also is a little bit of a special candidate, mainly because how this stock, let me type some notes, god damn it. Mainly because how this stock has been trading. Oh, I put it in the wrong box, obviously. Mainly because how the stock has been trading, not recently, but I think what was that catalyst with Amazon? That Yeti was the most bought tumbler, or the most Amazon Prime bought product, the last Amazon Prime. I think that was the headline that maybe Yeti posted or Amazon posted themselves. Yeti, the most bought Amazon product. Can I just Google that, or do I have to pay for the statistics? But I remember hearing something about it, and Yeti kind of like had a big boost in their valuation long time ago after that. So Yeti is also at a pretty beautiful ranges to look at on the daily. I think if we can break out of these highs over here, we can have some fun to the north side on the earnings report. Also pre-market, we got to just wait to see what happens in pre-market for YETI. The next few stocks are Penn National. Let's go see what this one looks like. 11% move expected on PENN. That makes it a high of $24.97 or a low of $20. So basically $25 to $20 coming into play after the earnings move for PENN. Oatly, next one. Is this the company that makes the glasses, or is it the company that got hacked and they sell? Oh no, it's neither. It's food. Oh, is this the company that makes oats? Is it? I think so. Sweden. Okay. Never mind. Yeah, I'm thinking about. Oh, I'm thinking of Oakleys. I'm thinking of Oakleys. These are Oatleys. Okay, I'm stupid. I'm stupid. That's hilarious. Quarter oats makes oats. Yeah, I'm thinking of something else over here. I'm thinking of Oakley's the glasses. This is Oatly. But yeah, these makes what milk. They make. You need some milk, including alternative milks, ice cream, yogurt, cookie creams, and spreads. Okay, dairy products basically. Moo. I'll be interested to see how this one moves tomorrow. Let's quickly go check out what they are expecting on 20% move. Oh, it's a dollar stock. Deleting off my watch list right now, dude. I'm sorry, this one gets deleted off my watch list ASAP. I can't even believe I spent so much time charting that stock without even seeing it's a dollar. Next stock, Wendy's. Let's go see where Wendy's nuts are gonna move tomorrow. Come on, Wendy's, load up. This is the only downside of this chart. I wish it was like faster, because these days kids have no patience. Okay, we're looking at like 30-second interval on TikTok and 10-second intervals on like YouTube shorts and stuff. No one's got patience for a 10-second, not 10 seconds, this is more than 10-second loading time speed over here. Come on. But here are the levels that we looked at for the earnings move. Wendy's coming up with the last one on the board for us, a 5.4% move expected with a high of $20 or a low of $18. So hopefully you guys kind of wrote those levels down for yourself. And if you did not, don't worry, I got you covered. If you are subscribed to me on my Patreon, you get my watch list sent out to you every single night / every single morning. I'll send it to you in pre-market or right at the end of the night, depending on you know, if I'm making extra notes or not. Although if I do make extra notes, all those changes get automatically updated to everybody who has the link already, so you don't have to worry about getting a new link anyways. Now the next segment of the stream is brought to you by crypto.com. No, it's not, but I wish it was. Sponsor me, crypto.com or Coinbase. Sponsor me, I would love it. So let's go talk about cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin USD, BTC USD with a 52,000. What a move, baby. Now we basically have no more levels on Bitcoin to the upside. Bitcoin has been monstrous. This was the anchored VWAP ever since we started breaking out on Bitcoin. And you can see how we basically held, showing you that buyers were buying up. It was basically a buy program probably, right? The buy program kicking in and just constantly buying up at a specific level interval and not giving up the buying program at all. Eventually it breaks out, takes it higher, then we come back in to test these areas again, we break out higher. So it's just been insane every single time watching Bitcoin move to the north side. I still have Bitcoin on my portfolio. I basically stole my stock portfolio completely at all-time highs, but I still have Bitcoin and Ethereum in my portfolio. So this makes me pretty happy that I held it you know, pretty much all the way against me, and now we're seeing a little bit of a return on that account. So let's go, baby, let's go. Pretty happy about it. Let's see 100k though. That's where the level we're talking about. If Bitcoin's not back at 100k, then all of this was for nothing. All of this was for nothing. All this pain, all this struggle, all this headache was absolutely for nothing. And Kathy just started a Bitcoin ETF. No way. My BITO way up, says TH. I like it, dude. Let's go. Yeah. So we were actually going to talk about BITO and GBTC. They're also on the watch list over here. You can see right there, along with Coinbase, Mara, Riot, GBTC, and BITO. So BITO is one of the ETFs that you could use to trade Bitcoin. Here's the other one that you could take a look at. It is IBIT. However, I think BITO does more volume. Let's go take a look at it. IBIT does 28 million. BITO does 16 million. Ooh, BITO does a little bit less volume than IBIT, but GBTC I think was doing more volume than BITO initially and IBIT, but now GBTC has been going down in volume, basically showing you that switch in trend, that switch in people going away from previously not so official way to invest in Bitcoin, which was GBTC. It was listed in what was it, OTC markets, and not really on the ARCA markets, which it is right now, which is where the ETFs are. But now the ETFs allowed the stock to kind of migrate from that to this and become a legitimate ETF. But the switch from grayscale to traditional ETFs such as BlackRock, Vanguard, S&P 500, maybe even the ARC ETF, is showing you that people are willing to get into the business, into the cryptocurrency market, but they're also looking to get into the right channels, which is through banks and stuff, to kind of stay protected, because I think Bitcoin Trust is not really as protected than banks, maybe. At least that's what they're thinking. So BITO bringing in more volume. That shift happened not too recently. BITO has a dividend. $0.41 dividend, and you could have bought this at $10. Yo. Why didn't you tell me this? I wish I bought some at $10. Okay, anyways, missed out the train, but I own Bitcoin directly, so who cares? I own Bitcoin directly, so who cares? No reason to cry and complain. Awesome move on Bitcoin overall. We're getting that pump. A couple websites over here that I would suggest. I think first, let's go talk about Coinbase. Let's go talk about Coinbase, Mara, and Riot. Coinbase very close to its 52-week high. All-time high, very, very far out, right? Very, very far out. I remember Coinbase's IPO, making that all-time high on IPO and never looking back to that price again. Coinbase never saw that same price ever again. However, with everything happening right now, maybe it has some chance in the near future. Not right now, maybe in the near future though. Coinbase, pretty important to see how it behaves into this 52-week high. Let's see some fun above this solid rejection area above 160, watching to see how the stock behaves into 160. I think Riot and Mara, also, you're looking to see what happens right into this, not into here just yet. You're waiting to see what happens here, and then above that you can wait to see what happens at the $20. And then Mara, you're waiting to see, my nose is so itchy, and you're waiting to see what happens over here into 3130 on Mara. Wow, Mara making an even better recovery. I guess Mara usually makes a better recovery than Riot. Always makes a better recovery, always makes a better move than Riot. It also does more volume than Riot, if I remember accurately. Let's go confirm that. Mara doing average 90 million shares today, 80 million shares. Riot doing average, there you go, 28 million shares, compared to today doing 34 million shares. Today it actually brought in more volume than the average. Shout out to Riot. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Maybe Riot is the one that's lagging, and if Mara's taking out the 52-week high, then Riot could possibly make that run towards that 52-week high. So nice little stock to catch up on, to catch on the train if you are falling behind, I guess. If something to keep in mind. However, I was going to point out a couple websites for you traders who are looking to trade Bitcoin-based moves on the stock market. If you are looking to trade Bitcoin-type moves on the stock market, maybe a couple websites over here to keep on track or keep on watch for yourselves would be aggr.trade. Where is that? Hell is this trade? Bitcoin Wisdom is one of them. Oh, I already have it open here. Mr. Tabs already has it open. That's what they call me, Mr. Tabs. Okay, so aggr.trade, it's very much like the Bookmap. Shout out to Think with Bookmap, channel that I love very much. Take a look at where the NASDAQ futures are exactly doing. Where is the NASDAQ futures actually? Instead of talking about it, let's go show it to you guys. So Think with Bookmap, there we go, bang. Think with Bookmap. They're streaming right now. I usually go look at the NASDAQ futures more than the S&P 500 futures. Look at that. They're shouting out the channel right now. They're giving the people the link to go watch. Make sure you go hit the like and subscribe, and you ring the notification bell too. So their channel, I usually go take a look at to see what's happening over here on the buys and the sells. How I leave this in the background too, because you can hear the tick rate. You can hear the the speed up of the futures going down or up. And usually I won't even be doing anything. I'll just be watching like a TV show or a stock or whatever, and all of a sudden I'll just hear the stream going tick 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 tick. So I immediately pull up the stream. I'm like, oh, what the hell's going on with the futures? Then I go look at, you know, my position, or maybe I look for a new position, or I look for an entry somewhere. So always good thing to leave in the background, even if you don't really understand what the hell's going on. A couple alerts come out, a couple notifications come out. Eventually you can learn what they're talking about over here and what all this information is about. And you can always ask questions in the chat. Amazing support in the chat. Think with Bookmap usually is able to answer questions in there. So if you ever want to learn about exactly what all this information is, you can learn by just asking questions in the chat. Don't feel shy about it. So go shout out to Think with Bookmap. They've been helping this channel very much, helping my channel grow. So make sure you go hit them with the like and subscribe. Show them some love too. Please don't forget that. I'm pretty sure most of you already know Think with Bookmap. Yeah. Screw you, Dieter. Screw you, Dieter. All right. So that's basically Bitcoin. So you keep an eye out for this website over here. Looks like there's some sort of a seller at 52,790, right around 53,000, basically around 53,000. There's a little bit of a seller, not too big of a seller though. I could see that area getting breaking out pretty easily. Don't really see any big buyers showing up at the moment, but I love to see that big seller got cleaned out not too long ago. That was the 50k break, basically. That was the getting above 50. No, that was a 50k break. That was a 48k break. Nice. So taking out 40k, holding support of that 48k, getting above 48k, 50k resistance, then rejecting, then breaking through. So gotta love it, baby. Bitcoin. Let's see a bigger move eventually, and we can participate with that move over here. Another website was aggr.trade. I think they have better versions of it. aggr. They have V3 now?
Seller sweep NQ.
Is it aggr2.trade? Is it aggr trade 2? I forget what the website is for the second version. But either way, you want to use something that can help you look at the time of sales of Bitcoin. This website over here, you can filter exactly what the thresholds are, what levels you're looking at, along with the Bitcoin Wisdom, which is a nice little visualizer to see where the buyers and sellers are. This is a visualizer of exactly where the buys are taking place right now and the sells are taking place. So there you go. A big $1 million buy came in just recently. Another $1 million buy, a 300k sell, but there's more buys coming in than sells. Just way more buys coming in than sells. So what's happening to the stock when that, or Bitcoin when that happens? When there's way more buys with bigger buying power coming in than the number of sells or taking profits coming in, it starts to going up to the north side. So there you go. Bitcoin is pushing to the north side over here, and we're getting a nice little pump to the upside. 53k almost coming into vision. Maybe not. That's actually 52,000. So 52,000 coming in. A little double top on the 10-second chart. Holy, this is crackhead time zone. We're on 10-second chart. Let's go to the 5-minute chart instead. Yeah, please. That's crackhead time zone. No 10-second charts for me. We're gonna go with the 5-minute chart. So let's see if we can push back to this 52k. We did flush down, find support into this area. This is where you could have looked for along with the support over there, because that was a good breakout, right? Nice little flag. We broke out to the upside, we flagged, and then the break of the flag, pull back, finding support, and now pushing back up. Let's continue going back up. $3.8 million buyer. Woohoo! Bitcoin is pushing up. So this is a nice little visualizer to help you get into your trades on BITO and GBTC and so on. Keep that website on handy. Make sure you don't miss out on that information over there. Now, going back, I like the yeah. That's actually from Dr. Disrespect, if you know who that is. It's actually from Dr. Disrespect. All right, now let's talk about Airbnb. We nailed the stock perfectly for you guys. Airbnb, here's the move today. Look at that. Well, this is the line from today's high, but we had basically the call out that we're looking for this area to hold. If I just move today's low, you see how that line was there? That's basically today's low, 142.50, and 142.50 was exactly where the bottom was on the day today. Awesome. 150 was not where the line was. We had the line at if I can quickly glance over at 148.50, but yesterday we were talking about how it could easily go above 148.50 to 150, the same way how we were talking about, I think it was today, how a stock could, you know, Cisco could possibly go down to 45.50 instead of that line that we had at 46 and so on. So it did ended up going to 150. It did pop up. Airbnb did make a bullish run to the north side. The report was also, if I remember correctly, pretty bullish. So we were expecting some sort of a reversal back into yesterday's low, but not only did we reclaim yesterday's low, we got above it, and now we're looking to see if tomorrow there's some sort of a secondary move to this move over here, right back above 150 into 154, 153 highs and so on. This would be a continuation of the earnings play, but the stock, the report was kind of in line / not really that bullish in my opinion, so I'm not really expecting too much of a move here on Airbnb to the upside. Possibly just choppy action over here in the middle. Not expecting too much. Watching these levels once again, the same levels, instead of 148.50, which we were never watching anyways, we were watching 150 area. So we're gonna keep watching that 150 all the way back into yesterday's high. Let's quickly go to the 60-minute time frame instead. Turn off that one. There you go. So we're still watching that 150, which we already have on watch. We're still watching this area above 150, which is 153, and then above 153, which I don't think comes into play at all. I'll be honest, it doesn't come into play. 157. I don't think that's coming in tomorrow at all. So as for supports, maybe we can look for this 148 where the earnings VWAP is. The reason why I say it can is usually you can see on the second day the earnings VWAP does come in, show some support, and it pops back up. It's actually at $146 on the 5-minute chart, so that's exactly what I'm going to use as my inflection point. That's also around the midway of today's low, today's high. So right around here, if we do pull back into pre-market, kind of show me support into this range, and then we start trickling back into 150, that's a good long to get into right around this area with a stop under here for this little move of a capture. So looking for something like that on Airbnb. Show me some support in front of 146, but if you're clearly trading under 146, then I'm most likely looking for shorting any pops, looking for a short, looking for a move back down to 142 or lower, because clearly the stock is now getting ready to actually play out its trend to the downside. This was just a gap close. The gap has been closed. Now we're going to get ready for the bigger sell-off action and trickle down all the way south. So watch out for that one on Airbnb. UPST was a big sell-off yesterday on the earnings move, 20% drop, and continuing that drop even lower. Let's go take a look at what our levels were on UPST. Yesterday we talked about 25 to 24.40. 24.50. What levels came into play? I don't want to draw anything. Let me quickly go here. There you go. So that's today's low. Ignore that line. We had that line right there yesterday, and you can see how that line basically came in for a double bottom with a nice little fake breakout. It kind of fake broke out from that bottom and then came right back and showed you buying again. That basically showing you that that level of 26 is pretty damn important. However, we did break under 26 to the downside to 25.30 for about 5, 10, 15 minutes or so, and then right back to the north side we came through that. So it looks like something of a range over here from once again, what do I have, 25 to 24.50 is what I'm looking at. That's about a 50-cent range, right? So you're watching a 50-cent range. The reason why we have 24.50 is because yesterday's after hour low was 24.50. There we go. 24.50 was the after hour low, which never really came into play today. It just bounced off of 25, which is what we expected it to do, bounce off of 25. Maybe it can kind of go into 24.50, but it never really went there. And our second area that we were kind of keeping out for was this 20 $26 area, which shows them some support. Now the same area kind of comes into play tomorrow, but UPST, with it being on SSR, I'm not really too interested to kind of look for shorts tomorrow. It might be able to go up being SSR day 2. It's a big sell-off, but UPST also had a pretty bad earnings report. The report looks green over here, yes, but they lost, I think they were losing customers, 19% decrease year over year on lending. So if they're not lending, then they're not making money. They're a banking company or a lending company, right? So if they're not lending and their money is just sitting there in their accounts, then they're not really putting their money to work. So UPST getting a very, very bad report overall, and even bigger sell-off on that report itself. They were already down 20% in the earnings report pre-market. Sorry, after hours. Pre-market did get a pop right into our resistances. Look at that, right into $29.60 and $30, which was today's high. Wow, that's insane. So we pretty much had that numbers on the watch list. Came into some shorts opportunities, and then you could have rode that to the downside. I think there's a little bit of a bigger move over here on UPST, but I'm not really interested to short it tomorrow. I think day 3 after the SSR is done, which will not be tomorrow, which will be after tomorrow, Friday. I can wait for Friday to show me what type of a short opportunities I can play with on UPST. Next stock, Robinhood. Robinhood, man, that stock is showing me a little bit of recovery signs for sure. We are actually coming back and holding this $13 area. Look at that little dip of 12.77. It's right into yesterday's VWAP. That's pretty crazy, right? Right into yesterday's VWAP, where we're showing you that the people who bought this stock yesterday are trying to come in and buy up the stock again right at these prices. So you have nice support showing up from yesterday's move into today. Now the question is, what happens right into today's ranges? Can we break out of this 14? If I remember correctly, yep, that 14 is a pretty important area. This $13.50 to $13 range box was pretty important, so reclaiming this area and coming back here is pretty damn bullish. But let's take out that 14, which is today's high, and really hold above this $13.50 area. So that would be the first inflection now for support. We want to see $13.50 turning into support. We want to see 14 breaking out, and we want to see the stock clearing 14 and just charging up to the north side. So Robinhood showing me very clear signs of some sort of a bullish reversal coming in for this position, especially after how the report yesterday. Reading that report, I like the report a lot. Lyft, I mean, we knew they were not going to $20, but I was pretty surprised watching Lyft get above 16. I said I'm not expecting Lyft go above 16, but they did get above 16 to almost $17. I was quite surprised watching that happen. Their report said 500 basis points where they messed up, and they were actually only going to be 50 basis points of an increase. But overall, I guess bullish report. You know, Lyft is happy being number 2 in the business, number 1 being Uber. They're happy being number 2. Recently I've been using Lyft a lot more, because if you use Lyft, you have the option to wait 15 minutes and get quite a bit of a good discount, right? So I can just get ready, get Lyft, get a nice little discount, and that's what I do these days. So I've been using Lyft a lot more compared to Uber, and I think a lot of people have been. That's a great feature that Lyft has added to their services. However, when it comes to Uber Eats, I think a lot more people go to Uber Eats. I don't even think Lyft has some sort of an Eats delivery. Don't think they do. So Uber Eats still is probably beating them on those numbers over here for the most part in terms of delivery revenue and all that for Uber versus Lyft competition. What do I think about Lyft for a trade tomorrow? Honestly, don't have any opinion. I think we still need to wait to see what happens around $20. Don't really care to make a decision around this $15 area for this stock. I think I can just wait to see what happens back into 20. That 20 was a clear overreaction on LYFT. But that's quite a bit of a long way. Maybe if 16 pulls back and shows support, you can look for a long there. but I don't really want to trade this range. This range doesn't really excite me. We got clear resistance in the 17, at least off of today's high. So maybe instead of waiting at 20, I'll just kind of mark down 17 as my resistance. We got another high of this 18 resistance, 1830. See how my notes are just increasing now on lift when I just went from I don't even want to put it in my notes. Okay, first resistance, today's high around 17. Second resistance, R2 around $18 or 1830. Third resistance around 20 or 2030. First support around $16. If 16 to 1570 does not hold, then I don't think there's a long in this stock at all. You need to see that level hold on this stock. If 16 to 1570 needs to hold, period. There's no other argument besides that for me. So let's see that happen. MGM, a little bit of a flush on MGM, sadly. Look at that, we nailed that level. That was a level that we had on MGM around 41.31, and pretty much bouncing right before that level on that stock. I love to see it. Didn't really come into play too much. We bounced off of 41.68, 30 cents away from the level that we were keeping an eye out for, but I think the stock most likely takes that level out. The report was not that bearish. Do I remember their report? I deleted it from ChatGPT, sadly. I think they were missing on a specific number. They lost on a specific number a little bit. Their Chinese Macau numbers were up like 400%, but like I said, that number is a little fugazi. That number really doesn't matter that much because you're comparing it to COVID recovery versus before COVID, because the market's clearly behaving like it's before COVID, not COVID recovery, and you're reporting numbers like it's COVID recovery numbers. Like, nobody has empathy for you, nobody sympathizes for you, nobody cares. Show us the numbers we want to see, which is monster banger gangbuster beats, right? But we're not seeing that apparently. So people clearly very bearish over here on MGM, flushing into the downside right off the open. Big flush off the open over here. That long-term trend line that big long-term trend line that we have apparently rejected right off of that trend line on the 5-minute chart and flushing the downside over here, coming in much harder. 43.62 is apparently what I had 43 as a level. Breaking under 43 right off the open must have been a monster short opportunity for whoever had it. I don't really have any supports. I did have supports at 41. Didn't come into play. It was 41.30, that area that we were looking for. MGM, what do I think about a trade for tomorrow on this stock? I think 41.30 holds. I'll be honest with you. I don't think 41.30 breaks. So let me just quickly delete. What the hell happened? So 41.30 to 41, I think, is supports. I don't think that breaks, but it doesn't really matter what I think or what I don't think. It just matters what happens if that area breaks or doesn't break. So if that area breaks, the next area that's something to keep an eye out for is $39. So you can watch to see, why did my voice just crack over there? You can watch to see what happens at $39. That's right about one ATR move. The ATR for the stock is about $1.33. That's about one ATR move, but to expect the stock to do this would be crazy, right? That's where we closed today. We closed around 42.70. To expect the stock to do that would be crazy. So this is what I'm expecting. We go down here, one ATR, we bounce, giving you an opportunity to get long in front of 41 tomorrow. So watch what happens back to the 5-minute chart. Right into this 43, this pre-market low and this aftermarket low is somewhere that I'm watching. Right into 43 to 43.50 possible resistances. What the hell? Oh, come on. There we go. Next stop, Akami, aka this one I want to show you how beautiful Prostradamus nailed the level for you guys. Look at that. This was a stock that was reporting stocks pre-market. We didn't really have any levels mapped out other than that one line and this one line. Reported pre-market, big flush. Oh no, it's not. It reported after hours. I'm stupid. Never mind. I thought this was a pre-market reporter. Never mind. Either way, we nailed the level perfectly. 114 area held wonderfully on the stock. That's a recent low too, that December 2023 low. Now you got a triple bottom. Do I think there's more on the stock? I mean, the way it closed, yes, I think there's more on the stock, just how it closed. But if that area doesn't hold, then you got more downside. You got 109 coming into play most likely on a swing term scale. So you can look for a bigger short to the downside over here into 109 or so. But if that 114 does hold tomorrow, you got some beautiful longs off that 114. So watch out for the Akami 114 area. I think today's low is 113.18. So we're going to put it all the way to that 113.80 to 114 to watch out for AKAM for supports. If it does hold, awesome. If not, then you can watch for the stock to go much lower than that, all the way to the downside into the software that I have is bugging out right now. It's just confusing. Okay, AKAM going all the way back into that 109 marker if we do fail to hold 114, sadly. So watch out for that drop if that happens. Shopify. Here's where the stocks, we kind of just fly through them now, because some of these stocks are day 3, day 4 trades. Most of them most likely won't even have any big trade opportunity for us. But let's talk about Shopify. Shopify, sadly, a big flush to the downside. But the important level is right into this $81 all the way up to this 83 high. I say 81, well, I should say 82. I say 82 because the earnings anchored VWAP is right into 82. But actually, let's just stick to 83. Let's just stick to 83, the range high on Shopify. So watching to see what happens on the move into $83 on Shopify. I think the earnings day high was also 83. Yes, 83.49. 83.50 was the earnings day high. This range high is basically 83.58. So let's just say 83.50 to be easy. You know it's always a range, right? 83.50 on watch for any sort of pops for us to be able to short into, and a breakout at 83.50 with actual momentum, buying power coming in, and you're able to spot that, then maybe that's an opportunity to get long. But just because where the stock is closed, the stock's ATR is about $4. If we move into $3 to the north side tomorrow, it will be hard for me to expect the stock to do much more than that on the 4th day of earnings report, right? Maybe not the 4th day, this was the 3rd day. Today is the 2nd day, tomorrow would be the 3rd day. So it'll be hard for me to expect the stock to do more than 83.50 tomorrow. So that would be some point to possibly look for resistances. For support, you are looking for that 80. You don't want to see the stock going below 80 if you're bullish. If you're bearish, then obviously going under 80 is a good sign for you. But going under 80 for bulls, not a good sign for Shopify. So keep that one on the watch. Datadog, still in that range over here for Datadog. You're still waiting, being patient. That range almost came into high today, but didn't, or that range high almost came into play today, but didn't really come into play at all. That 138.60. So you're watching that 138 to 138.60 breakout, basically 138.50. 138.60 breakout to the north side to see what happens. As for supports, you can use kind of today's VWAP, maybe today's low, today's high, but I'm just gonna put in today's high, or not today's high, the 52-week high range as my watch list. I want to see that level get cleared and for us to look for the longs through that level. Hasbro, this one is Prastradamus perfection. Absolutely perfection, Prastradamus over here. So nice little move right back into the north side on Hasbro. Now we're looking for this area to reject or break. We nailed the call out over here for the north side, especially on how bullish the candle was on this move. I remember talking about Hasbro very clearly yesterday about how the earnings report was a move to the downside, but with how bullish the stock behaved, especially on how weak the market was on CPI report, it looks like the stock wants to go into that high area, and it did exactly that, right? It did exactly that. Look at the candle, big candle, showing you that we had a lot of buying power coming in, and you can see that on the volume candle too. Big volume candle, big body in itself, taking it to the north side, and now that takes it right back into this, I don't know if that's a 52-week range high. Not a 52-week high, but nice little range high coming right back into play. Taking that range high out, basically $58, means there's more upside for Hasbro. And that's the only level that I'm basically watching. I'm watching to see what the stock does from $57.70 to $58 as a resistance. And if we can clear that, oh boy, the stock has much more room to the upside. God damn it, I can't type. I can't type today at all. My brain's farting. Next stop, WM. WM, we got that 200 call out perfectly. We called it out to you guys yesterday. We even posted it on Twitter for you guys. Hopefully you guys took advantage of it. Did not expect the stock to do much more than 200, but just because how the stock traded going into the close, that's a pretty bullish hold of that 197, was it 195? 196. That's a pretty bullish hold of that 196 area right into this pop lows. So pretty good hold of those areas over here on WM, showing me that there could be some sort of a move back through 200 brewing over here. So watch out what happens on the stock back through 200. You're still watching that area pretty clearly. As for supports, now you have a clear support. You have the earnings consolidation flag low, and also today's low, which was the day 2 low, right into that 196 area, and they both coincide. That is the ultimate low. You don't want to see 196 breaking if you're trading the earnings momentum. This might be a good trade for you too, Lucas, if you are looking for a swing trade over here on an earnings play, right? You are looking for a long somewhere before 200, maybe not before 200, sorry. You're looking for a long somewhere above 200 with your stop under 195. So you're risking about $5 per share risk, and your reward is much more than that. But obviously some people might be hesitant on that. You might say, Prad, why the hell would I buy a stock that's breaking all-time highs right now? You're making me punch the highs. Isn't that stupid? Yes, but you're playing a completely different pattern right now. You're playing a play that's a breakout on the monthly chart flag. This is the monthly flag, which is pretty bullish. So accordingly to that, your target is, so let's do that. We need to have at least a 2:1 ratio, right? Even if we do a measured move of one measured move. So let's do one measured move. That's not the risk. The risk should be maybe here. But the measured move is all the way, actually, yeah, okay, that's the measured move. Yeah, that's smart. That's smart. Yeah. That's the one measured move. So 1R if you're risking all the way here, but the risk is not all the way there. You're risking basically like way tighter risk than that, maybe somewhere over here instead, right? You're risking the back through of the breakout. You're not really going to risk way too much back to the breakout. So now your reward, basically, you're looking for $216.65 on a way longer time frame. Now let's bring that on a smaller time frame. Smaller time frame, we're going to the 1-day chart here. Let's look for that breakout again. So you got this range. You got this range over here. Is that the same range? I think this might be the same range. Right? You got this range. You enter. No, that's not right. Delete that. That's the range width. So let's go to risk to reward 1. Yeah, that's the same range. Never mind. That's the same range. So you get the idea. Basically, you're looking for a move into $216 even after this breakout. So you got about $16 worth of reward for $5 worth of risk. That's amazing risk to reward in my opinion. So you're watching the stock to hold up at the very least, that 196. If 196, 195 does not hold on waste management, then this long is not valid anymore. You're also watching for the 200 to break, pull back, and show support. You're not taking the breakout of 200, right? 200 breaks, awesome. You're not entering on the breakout of 200. You're taking the pullback and some sort of a consolidation in this area above 200 to get into, and then you're looking for a move. That's when your stop is right above here in this area, but your measured move is all the way there. So now your risk reward is even tighter. Maybe now you're risking probably $1, $2 instead of the whole $5 that I was telling you to. If you take the breakout, you're risking the whole $5. You have to. If you're not taking the breakout, which is a smarter way to do, you wait for the breakout to happen, you wait for the pullback. After the pullback happens, you're probably risking $1 or $2, but your targets are still the whole measured move, which is to the north side, which is in the moon. So watch out for that target 216 as a swing trade for race management. That's a TraderPrad call out. We're gonna put a TraderPrad stamp on that bitch. Let's see what happens. Okay, next one, ARM. Let's see what's ARM doing. I have a couple interesting thoughts about ARM here. Let's talk about ARM in terms of. Let me find this. Let me find this. Let me find this. Where the hell is it? Where the hell is it? Trying to find something over here. Basically, it talks about how ARM's valuation or SoftBank only offered about 5 to 9% of ARM's actual shares pool at IPO. So they successfully actually wanted to create some sort of a short squeeze to take place in case people were shorting it, and that's why you saw that big short squeeze action come in, and ARM's IPO lockup periods coming up soon, sometime in March. That basically means some of the inside investors who were previously not allowed to dump their position can now just go just money printer mode on the stock. So ARM could have a little bit of a dump off event. Previously we've seen a lot of stocks such as Palantir, Coinbase, a lot of stocks who have had, well, Palantir was not a IPO, it was a direct listing, but I think Palantir still had an IPO lockup period. Anyways, ARM's IPO lockup period's coming up very soon, in a month or so. This stock, that was pretty interesting to read, that they only had about 5 to 9%, or SoftBank only had 5. My association, Bobby. That guy is a master gamer. Well, I can't even say his name properly. Maya, how you say it? Masayoshi? Yeah, Masayoshi-san. Masayoshi-san, absolute gamer over there, gaming the market. Wanted to make a short squeeze, getting a short squeeze out of it. They own basically 95% of ARM, I think. They tried to sell it off to NVDA, and then obviously the DOJ and the EU came in the way and they blocked off that deal. So now we are interested to see what happens in March. However, after the earnings play, the stock is no longer an earnings play anymore. The earnings play is well over. Day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5. Now we're talking about a day 6 play. There is no day 6 play on the stock, but maybe there's some sort of a play once the stock normalizes on this area and creates some sort of a range for us to play off of. Something that stands out to me clearly right now is how the stock is using the anchored VWAP from earnings as a little bit of a support. It's not really clean support, it never really is. It's a nice little support area being formed right into this $120. So look for that support continue to be coming in, but I don't think I'll be making any decisions right now on ARM. It's still a little bit too crazy for me. As you guys saw today's thumbnail, today's title talks about the race between SMCI and NVDA towards $1,000. Who's gonna hit 1K first? And my guess is probably SMCI. SMCI has a way smaller float than NVDA. Let's actually go confirm that, not just say that out willy-nilly. Let's go take a look at SMCI's float. 10, no, it's a short float. SMCI's got a 10% short float. Okay, that stock's 100% hitting $1,000 before NVIDIA. What the hell? Okay, where's the float? My eyes just got distracted by short float. Okay, float, there we go. 2.3 billion shares float for NVIDIA versus SMCI, whose float is 47 million. Yeah, this stock has a short float, a decent short float, a way smaller float, way smaller float than NVIDIA. 100% this one's hitting 1,000 before NVIDIA. The race has been decided. So watch out for this stock over here. You know, short SMCI and invite me to your funeral. I need to have that. I need to have this meme as an emoji. Come on, where's the GIF? I need to have this meme as an emoji to play at any moment because that's exactly what's going to happen over here for this stock tomorrow. You know what? I'm actually going to leave this tab open so that way I remember to have that, to make that a GIF and an emoji for ourselves tomorrow. But the SMCI over here, man, yeah, clearly going to be the champion for the move. I am not touching SMCI, especially not to the short side. NVIDIA wanting to join that party, a little bit of slower to the party, I guess, because you need to buy a lot more of NVIDIA than SMCI, but it wants to break out of the 750 over here, 746 being the high. Maybe NVIDIA can get into $1,000 before SMCI by the earnings move that's coming up in 7 days. Let's take a bet, chat. Let's put a poll in the chat over here. Let me quickly open up my page. Let me quickly open up my page here. Put in a poll in the chat, see where we get. Where is it? Who will hit? Who will hit? Oh wait, that's not how to do a poll. I'm stupid. Start a poll. Who will hit 1K first? SMCI, NVIDIA. Maybe I'll put $sign in front of 1K. Without 1K, I do $1,000. $1,000 first. SMCI or NVIDIA. Alright, polls up, ladies and gentlemen. Put your votes in. I'm gonna actually vote. I can't vote on my own poll. That's so stupid. That's really stupid. Now I have the Sean's curse on my own stream. That's awesome. He couldn't vote on the Trader TV live streams, but now I can. That's awesome. Okay, but yeah, I think I'm gonna vote for NVIDIA. NVIDIA might just take over on earnings day. However, SMCI right now is on the march to the north side. It's on an absolute march to the north side, so watch out for that one. Make sure your voices are heard. However, if we ignore the $1,000 runners and go to AMD, AMD successfully now breaking out of the pennants, out of the channel to the upside. So beautiful move over here on AMD. Previously this channel was this way for us, so you could have called this a fake breakout, and I called it a fake breakout yesterday, and then I repainted it for ourselves. But if, let's say the line was still there, so nice little fake breakout, hold up the 164 bottom, 165 bottom, and nice. This is not a fake breakout to the upside, in my opinion, because the body of the candle is much different. There is no wick on the upside as there was a wick to the downside. So fake breakout to the downside, a real breakout to the upside, in my opinion, over here. And AMD getting ready to go back into that 185 north side. So watch out for AMD over here going back to 185. I think it might even come into play tomorrow, if I'm being honest, and especially if the market is bullish. So why don't we talk about this right now? One of my good friends over here, and I'm gonna call him a good friend right now, even though I only met him and talked to him today for the first time in my life. But I think we're gonna form a pretty good friendship and a pretty good relationship over here. His name is Oso. Also from the Think with Bookmap family. Shout out to the Think with Bookmap family again. If you are already from the Think with Bookmap family, you guys know how awesome that channel is, that they've been promoting me so much recently and so on. But if you're not with the Think with Bookmap guys, then you need to go check them out. The best channel right now for free bookmap access for the S&P 500 futures and NASDAQ, hands down. But also talked about something very important, and I hope he doesn't mind me sharing this. So let me quickly.
Yo, Prad, I can't believe. Yo, watch my. That's dude. I'm literally.
Hold up.
My mind.
Let me mute that here. Hopefully you guys can hear that. If I go full screen here, nope, that doesn't work. Give me a second, chat. I'm gonna do full cam bring it here to this screen. I just don't want you guys to read the other messages. That's why. Okay, now we go to full screen. And now... Oh, look at that. Do I have that playing in the background this whole time? Yeah, the tick 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 tick. Yeah, we can close it for now. But here we go. Let's take a look at this video from our good friends from Oso from the Trade with Bookmap family, and see what he was talking about. The importance of maybe looking at things like Bookmap today. You might have missed this information if you did not look at time of sales. If you did not look at time of sales every day for the past, I don't know, 2+ years of your life. If you were watching the time of sales every day for the past 2+ years, then you would have noticed what we are going to watch right now. Or if you use things like Bookmap, you would have noticed what we're going to watch right now. But if you didn't, it would have been much harder. It's also much harder if you're trading things like equities, because you're watching a lot of stocks, and a lot of stocks behave differently. Whereas futures, he's watching one thing. He knows this one thing perfectly. He knows it like the back of his hand. He knows it, every single thing about it. And he noticed something that's very, very important. And I think that important notice of that catch of him noticing something actually elevated his ability to get really excited for tomorrow. So let's go talk about that. Let me also turn down this volume down a little bit more. Okay, so let's go watch this video.
Yo, Prad, I can't believe you watched my... Dude, I'm literally... My mind is blown right now.
The audio is pretty low, sadly.
Insane. And since you're looking at Bookmap, I just wanted to show that today is one of the rarest days I've ever seen. I use Bookmap every single day. And why is it rare? I mean, look at the volume profile on the side. 6,000 lots, 49.85. I think the most I've seen at a single level is around 5,000.
There you go.
And since you're blown right now, but I have to show you this because it's absolutely insane. And since you're looking at Bookmap, I just wanted to show that today is one of the rarest days I've ever seen. I use Bookmap every single day. And why is it rare? I mean, look at the volume profile on the side. 6,000 lots, 49.85. I think the most I've seen at a single level is around 5,000. It's insane. But look at the order flow. 2,000, 600, 1,800, 900. Again, all here. It's a little smaller here. But then let's go. I love zooming out and looking at the general view. This is what I was talking about by the crazy buying today. If you saw me spamming Discord, 3,000. You don't see these numbers in Discord.
So this is basically the volume profile. He's talking about how much people were buying up today. This is on the second day after CPI, where CPI came in hotter, especially after FOMC, which came out recently, and they talked about Fed rates not getting cut anytime soon. So all this information combined, we should technically not be seeing such big buys. After seeing normal selling, we're seeing normal selling 1,000 lots, but we're still seeing big buying coming in. But even after the big buying coming in, we weren't really breaking out to the north side. What does that indicate? That indicates there's some big seller just offloading, or some big sellers soaking up the shares, soaking up the buyers. And you saw that over here on the heat map too, right? A lot of action taking place all day.
It's absolutely insane. And so I don't know if you're new to Bookmap, but if you are getting the most rare day that you'll ever see. You won't even uptrends. They look really nice in volume like this, similar, but not this big. Not for almost 5,000 at 5,000, 5,000 here, 6,000 here. I don't know what it means. Obviously, it probably means more upside. But if we do end here, it's if we break these levels into tomorrow Globex, it makes it very easy to predict an uptrend tomorrow. And same with downside. Because you don't see these orders, you could safely assume the market is going to take a direction. And that's why I've been freaking out in Discord, because tomorrow could be a very big day, down or up. And we know it's going to be big off this order flow. You do not see days with this big of numbers. It's absolutely crazy.
Well, there you have it. There you have it. You just understood maybe one of the best concepts over there when it comes to trading, understanding where the order flow is taking place. And that's kind of understanding over here. You're seeing buyers come in way more aggressively than the sellers came in. And that's why AMD is kind of looking way bullish to me than it previously was. And now we're looking for some fun into 185 to the north side on AMD. As is regards to the overall market, that looks pretty bullish to me too. The fact that we broke out after struggling to break out all day today. That's a 54-minute chart. Let's go to the 60-minute chart. Maybe let's go to the 5-minute chart. Maybe not. Let's actually turn off all things and then go back to the 60-minute chart. There we go. So this fact that we were struggling over here in this range, right? Selling, a lot of buying, but struggled and then broke out at the end of the day. That looked pretty damn bullish to me. So now the bigger, let's also turn off the extended trading hours, regular trading hours. So that looks pretty damn bullish to me. So now the question is, can we break out of this area over here? Can we reclaim the all-time high and all those? I don't want to see all those lines. You know what? I'm just gonna delete all those lines right now. But then I'll lose a lot of these. Yep. You know, I don't care. I don't care. I'm gonna delete it. Okay, 60-minute time frame. Throw in some lines over here. One right there. One right there. If we do get above 433.50 and hold above 433.50 on the QQQ, especially with the immense amount of buying the QQQ market saw today, I think it was the QQQ market that he was talking about. Maybe it was a SPY market, whatever. But if the market shows more buying and actually holds above this 433.50 tomorrow, I think we are, you know, just running right back into the all-time highs, especially after a hot CPI. But if this 433.50 area shows some rejection tomorrow, maybe we can look for some move to the downside again. Although the fact that there was so much buying coming into today, right into this 430 area, I don't think there is much downside over here on this QQQ market or the overall market. The market already proved to us, even with the hotter CPI, we're gonna buy. That kind of rhymed. I like that. Even with a hotter CPI, we're gonna buy, and they actually just did that perfectly. So shout out to the market over here. QQQ trades so much more cleaner than the overall S&P 500 future or the future or the equities in general. I should just become a futures trader. You know, I should just become a futures trader. I've been talking about that for a while now. But one step at a time. QQQ, I think, is looking pretty damn bullish to me tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. So watch out for the upward moves of stocks like Apple, Microsoft. Apple sadly did flush down today, but watch out for those upward moves on stocks like Apple, Microsoft, NVDA. And I don't think NVDA is gonna do too much before the earnings day, but we'll just be patient and watch what happens on NVIDIA. SMCI still getting monster moves to the north side. Monster. Momo in the house. It says Ford X date is the 15th. Does the price take the dividend out the price tomorrow morning or Friday? I want to trade dividend date bounce. I have no clue. What is X date? Didn't Ford already report? Yeah, I thought Ford already reported. I don't know what Ford X date is. Juan Padilla, Pratty Daddy. Oh no. The Trader TV family found me again. What's up, Juan? How you doing? Yeah, I don't know what the X date is on Ford, I'll be honest with you. But I'm pretty bullish for most of these tech stocks tomorrow. I'm pretty bullish for most of the tech stocks as long as the QQQ basket holds up above 435.50. I'm going to put it into my notes right here. Resistance 430. Was it 435.50? 433.50. Let's see if QQQ can hold above that. I'm going to quickly glance over Disney. What's Disney doing? Ooh, yeah, Disney's trying to go back into the earnings day high. So if Disney can clear the earnings day high, whatever that price is. I hate this. Earnings day high of 113. Maybe some fun to be had there. And if it rejects that, maybe some fun to be had on that side too. So watch out for 113 on Disney. Let's go to NET. NET moving back into the earnings day low right now. Looks like it wants to have some fun right back into the earnings anchored VWAP, which is at 107.18. So I don't think that one is too far of a stretch. I think net goes there, but I don't really have a trade idea right now on net just from a quick glance. Looking at Affirm, I think Affirm is pretty much done. So we were looking at Affirm to the higher side first, but Affirm has kind of just died out since then, and now we were waiting for Affirm to the lower side, and it doesn't want to go there either. What that tells me is this range just keeps on coming to play, so I'm not really too interested to trade Affirm unless I can trade it off of this low or I can trade it off of that high. So if that is not being offered, I'm just gonna stay away from Affirm. Let's go check out Palantir. We like Palantir. Let's go Palantir, trying to take out that high again one more time. Love to see it. Let's go take out that earnings. It's not really the earnings high, but the earnings move high. I guess you could call this whole move as one move. So the whole one move high over here coming into play again, 25.50. But above 25.50, we have quite a bit of other levels that we have mapped out on Palantir. So I'll be a little cautious looking for the longs above there. However, if we do dip into $23, that's where the earnings anchored VWAP is. And I would love to look for some longs off of that 23 area on Palantir. So watching to see if 23 comes into play. Am I missing any stock over here? Just quickly glancing through my watch list. I do have some empty notes over here, but I always leave the large cap mostly empty. Oh, I forgot Netflix. I can't forget Netflix. Big move on Netflix today. Monster move on Netflix today. Right back into the earnings day high. So that's something that we have to watch out for. Possible rejection of that area. This is also all-time high. Nope, negative. Not all-time high. But the 52-week high. Basically moving right back into the 52-week high of $581. You're watching what happens above that area. So 580 to 581. With a stock like Netflix, you're not really looking at exactly 20-cent ranges. You're looking at, maybe a dollar range sometimes, because the ATR of the stock is $14.29. So watching 580 all the way to the new all the way to 581.25 to see what happens to the north side. And then if we are able to get above 580 to 581.25, show some support, then we can have some fun on the stock all the way higher on NFLX, making a great move up today on a single candle. Look at that. We were actually coming down, bounce right off the earnings anchored VWAP. Monster bounce off the earnings anchored VWAP right into the earnings day high. So I would love to see if there's a bigger room over here on NFLX. That's a trade you might not want to miss out tomorrow. Actually going to mark it as a higher importance priority too. Higher importance priority NFLX. I'm going to mark some of my other stocks over here as a higher or lower priority off stream later on. Not going to bother your guys' time with it. What's up, brother? Says Juan. All good, my G. All good. How you doing? Push it down to 12.30 or so, says Momo. Momo talking about Ford. I don't really trade Ford, Momo. You know me. But Momo's talking about Ford for those of you interested. She is advising her trade ideas on Ford. I'm a little tired now. That was 2 hours of non-stop talking. Good music in my head. It's just really loud in my head though. That's why I'm probably screaming. Good music in my head though. Anything that you guys want me to take a look at, let me know. I'm going to quickly scan through the IPO calendar in the meantime. Look to see if any new IPOs are popping up this month. Nothing left on the IPO calendar that looks exciting for us. Let's go check out the after hours scanner. Is there any low caps that we might want to keep an eye out for the after hour moves today? Ooh, we do. Scooby-Doo. CHNR. Didn't we map out the stock a couple days ago? CHNR actually failed recently. What's the ticker name, dude? CNHR. Yes, that's right. We recently mapped out the stock, I believe. Did I not? Oh, that was CHSN. Ah, that was close name. CHSN. Yeah, it was CHSN, which actually held a dollar. Look at that, held a dollar. So maybe if it can reclaim this area, go back up, this stock could maybe have some fun again. Chanson International Holding, but no, this is not what we're talking about right now. CHS, what the damn is the ticker? What's the damn ticker? CHNR. We'll just talk about it from here. We don't need to look at the charts. So a couple stocks over here, small cap stocks going up. Small cap season is back, ladies and gentlemen. Like it or not, small cap season is back. They are moving around. One of my good friends actually smacked some amazing trades on small cap. Let me see if I can actually show you his trades. I think I can show you his trades without showing you his P&L. I just need to be a little careful. I'm going to go to full cam here real quick, so you guys don't see my screen. And then after I go here, let me make sure my screen's hidden. Yeah, you guys are seeing my beautiful face. How you doing, chat? What's up? Let's show you guys. Oh, look at this beautiful trade by this guy. My God, what a clean trade. I'm only going to show you his small cap trades. Go back to the full screen here. Look at this man. Absolutely smoking it. DTSS, one of the small caps that he traded today, waited for the exhaustion, got short, got a little chopped up, but then later on held it for the move all the way back to $9. Small cap season is back. If you like the long trade, you could have had the long from 9 to 19. If you like the short, you could have had the short too. Everything is being offered. Look at this one. Getting in short BMR, $19. Getting out, $16. Getting back in, getting chopped out a bit, but then getting back in and then holding it for another move to the downside. Small cap season, absolutely back. Gotta love it. Having a lot of fun with these watching small cap stocks moving around at the moment. So here are some of them that you might want to keep an eye out for. DXF, a penny stock that moved up 124% today. NNOX moving up 80%. CHNR moving 307%. So those are the only three ones that I spotted on the quick glance. I promise you there'll be more in pre-market. These might not even be the ones that are important tomorrow. There might be ones that are more important pre-market. So make sure you keep your eyes open. If you don't have a small cap playbook, then maybe not the smartest idea to gamble on these stocks by trading it. The reason why I call it a gamble is because you don't have a playbook. If you don't have a playbook, if you go and trade it, it's a gamble. If you have a playbook, then you're managing risk. Notice the difference in terminology over there. So make sure you have a playbook. If you don't have a playbook, create one. Back test it, practice with it in the paper environment, and then explore it in the real money environment. Track it, use statistics, use websites and software like TraderSync. Shout out to TraderSync. Go check out their code down below in the description. Prad15 gives you 15% off. Use companies and softwares like TraderSync. Track your statistics, tag your trades, and then see if what you're building is working or hurting you. And then you also get to see what is working for you, so you can optimize what's working for you, and then the things that are not working for you, you get to cut it out, stop the bleeding, right? So watch out for all that fun stuff over there on TraderSync. Trade Ideas, go check out Trade Ideas too. Their code down below in the description. Also Prad15 in the for Trade Ideas. I actually didn't check out my scanner today, so let's go check out my scanner and then we can kind of call it a night. I'm gonna quickly go over through YouTube chat here, see if you guys want me to take any look at any stocks. Oh, you guys didn't post anything, so yeah, I guess we're gonna quickly do some back tests over here, look at my setup, and then we're gonna call it a night. 2 hours, another 2-hour long stream today. Oof, long streams. Where is Trade Ideas? Hello, there we go. So here's today's scans. Let me see today's scans. Trade Ideas. Zillow. Okay. No, that's not Zillow. No, that. Yeah, Zillow. Okay. I bet. Okay. So that's it. Only 2 stocks. I guess that's all you need sometimes, right? That's all you need sometimes. Okay, let's take a look at iBit. iBit, which clearly is the ETF for cryptocurrencies. Let's go to the 5-minute chart. It alerted us right here. we would have missed the move. And yeah, honestly, no trade on IBIT, even though it alerted it. I mean, you're looking for, yeah, no trade on IBIT. IBIT's just not a situation where you trade the stock. However, this is a perfect Bella scalp trade, right? Perfect Bella scalp trade, not the gap give and go trade that we're looking for. It's a perfect Bella scalp trade. You're watching the volume go lower while the stock is going lower, and the volume bars also go lower. It's just a quick scalp. This is not the right scan, and honestly, you probably wouldn't even have caught it, because after it breaks that trend line, it never really shows you a higher low that you need to get into. So let's go take a look at Zillow. This is the trade. This is the trade we were looking for. So Zillow actually matches our criteria and gives us the trade we're looking for. So let's go put in the trend lines. Is our magnet on? It is. So that kind of sucks. But you have another one here. What time did it alert us? It alerted us over here. So honestly, this trend line doesn't even make sense. So it alerted us over here. Let's put it to that trend line then. And that actually makes sense. So it alerted us around what, 1 o'clock. So our trend line, basically, if you draw it over here, you're looking at 11 o'clock. That's that doesn't even give us a trade. So we're going to put the trend line to that marker. You can maybe even put in something there if you want, right? Somewhere from there to there. But I always like to do it from the open, from the opening high to the next low, or from the opening low to the next high, or whatever it is, right? So watching that move over here, you can see how that breakout happens. You have that pullback and the buy coming in at a higher low, exactly what I want to see. You get long here with the stop there, and you get a beautiful move back into VWAP. And then you possibly get a continuation move on this stock for a longer swing trade. So Zillow Group matching our criteria, popping up into our scan, and this one looks like it wants to go into that 60 area again. Easily could go back into that 60 area again. So watch out for Zillow back through that 60. Beautiful stock popped up on the scan, and apparently no stocks to short today on the scan. No stocks to short. One stock that popped up, we would have never even gotten the entry on the stock to trade to begin with. The second that popped up, beautiful trade. Dieter, sorry Dieter, I know you messaged me today, but like I said, I'm just taking this week off. There's no point for me to sit there, wake up early. I'm just gonna take the vacation, man. I'm just gonna take vacation. You know, I'm doing nothing. I'm gonna play some video games late at night. I'm gonna sleep in. I'm gonna wake up late. I'm gonna, work a little bit, but not too hard, because I'm still working. This is still work, even though I don't get paid for it. This is still work. It's work that I like doing, which I have fun doing. So this is still work. I enjoy doing this. The other work I need to do is I need to edit a lot of stuff so I can post it on Instagram and TikTok and Reddit, which I'm so bad at, and I get so lazy. I just want to play video games and I just want to talk about the market. Why can't life just be that easy? I just want to talk about the stock market 24/7, and I just want to play video games 24/7. Well, not just talk. I want to trade. I want to talk about the market, and then I want to play video games. That's all I want to do, dude. Life could be so much fun that way. But no, we got to do dishes. We got to walk the dog. Life is so hard, guys. Anyways, guys, thank you for all the support. Let's start with all the OGs who show up every single day from day one. You guys have been my number one support, my pillar, my fortitude, my mental fortitude. Is that even something that you guys say? No, you guys have been my day one. You guys are my rocks. Thank you for sticking with me all through the journey. I can't wait to see what else we have in the future. All you know who you are: Dieter, Momo, TH, all of you know who you are. If I'm missing names, Jedi, please don't think of me like I'm missing names on purpose. I'm just a little tired right now. It's 2 hours of nonstop talking. You know who you are, my day ones. I talk to you on Discord every single day. Talking about Discord, if you're new to the stream and you would like to join our Discord server, make sure you use !Discord, or go check out my description below where all my links are to my social media. Discord and Twitter, where I'm mostly active on for trading. Instagram, I'm usually active on for posting memes and stuff on my stories, so you can go join that too. What else am I active on? TikTok, I'm not really that active on, but you can go join that too if you want. So Twitter and Discord, go check them out, obviously, if you're interested in the trading world. My affiliate sponsors, I already said that, but I'll say it again. TraderSync, Benzinga, and Trade Ideas. TraderSync and Trade Ideas, you can use code PRAD15 to get 15% off. My new amazing friends who've been amazingly helping me. I can't speak English clearly, god damn it. Who've been helping me in a monumental way. My friends from the Think with Bookmap family, thank you very much for all the support you guys have been showing me. I can't wait to form this relationship that we've been forming recently. You guys are the best. Thank you for the help, the support that you guys have been pouring in. Awesome. And make sure you tune in tomorrow, 8 o'clock, for another banger, sadly final, but banger episode of the week. So we'll see you guys tomorrow, 8 o'clock. And then after that, the Sunday night service at 6 p.m. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Until then, bye. That's not the right page. That's the right page.